Okay, so everything seems to be okay. Let's update the agenda. Try to fix yesterday's floating window bug and add a mini icon support. Or you can say not just mini icons, icon support. Okay, so stream health looking good. Let's send this message. Okay, so stream has officially started. Let's do this then. So currently we have some things like let's say a dir. Let's specify the type will be a split leftmost, something like this, and this time we're going to use float. It's not a problem because they are the same buffer. The thing is, let's try to find again this thing with float, and this time the directory will be a different thing. So a directory will be a home slash my username. Um, Actually, that's a strange bug. That's a strange bug. That's a completely different bug from yesterday's stream. Whatever. Anyways, we have to fix it all for once. Okay. So if I do load first and then do split right most or leftmost dir slash something's off. Something's not right. They are interchanging the buffer for no reason. So let's go into buffer.lua and let's see how we create things, like how we create buffers. So first we create first we try to find the buffer. Absolutely. Yeah, so first we try to find the buffer. Let me just pop out the chat. Here, let's make it a little smaller. Not that way, like this, and there we go. So what are we doing here is if the buffer already exists, we just fetch the buffer Otherwise, we create a new one. We set up the name. Okay, what else after that? Mhm. Okay, let me just see what we have here. Um, like after everything, yeah. So let's print out like self dot win ID and self dot buffer number. Um, so so this is the buffer number 6, and if I do echo this thing, so it is indeed 6. But if I do a floating window like this, it's 7, and it is indeed 7. But why? But why it's not working? Like the queue operation kills off the previous buffer instead of the current one. That doesn't make any sense. Absolutely not. I mean, that looks like a previous buffer. So key setup for something like this. We can directly concatenate a number, right? Let's try this. So first we have to do this, and we have to do this. So what happens? First, it creates 5 mappings for 6, for number 6, and yeah, and then 5 mappings for number 7. So if I go here and press Q, it closes. Press Q here, it doesn't close it. I wonder why. What if I do this, like leftmost split? I think let's specify the directory as well of this, and for a rightmost split as well, and okay, the directories has to be different. So this one, and this one has to be this. Okay. So if I press Q, it closes the previous buffer instead of. Hmm. That doesn't make any sense. Like seriously. Hmm. This is an interesting scenario. Like I never encountered something like this before. Hmm. Like if we have two different mappings, then why they are working so conflictingly? That doesn't make any sense. and both of the buffers are different instances. So yeah, I mean, why we have this problem at the first place? Yesterday was a different bug, but this time they are different. It's like we no longer have those mappings as um, let's search for mappings like Q. Yeah, we do have Q mapping. Yeah, obviously we do have mappings. And we're setting up all the mappings to a particular buffer. Hmm. Let's go to configuration, and I didn't see any problem here as well. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Is anyone there? Let me just reload the chat because yesterday there was a problem. Like, no matter how much messages are there in the live chat, I was unable to see any of the chat messages in yesterday's live stream, so I better just reload it just in case. So, where are we? So we have modes, but there is no modes, right? No, definitely not. So what would I have to do is, yeah, no, I have to update this thing like modes. Okay, not this one. Modes, okay, mapping direction. I want to see all of it. What the, what is actually happening? So we have normal mode, a queue mapping map to a function with a buffer number 6. Okay, fine. So we have a mapping, and every mapping has a mode, a split, and the quick. Yeah, every mapping has a keys table, and in which we have mode, um, mode or modes. Well, it could be a table. Hmm. Okay, whatever. Everything seems to be fine. I mean, what happening with this thing? Like, like this is closing fine, no problem. But what happens when a different buffer opened up? So let me just give a name to each of the mappings. Like we do have descriptions. So let's create a mapping. Like a description will be modes. Uh, I think I should use string format function, which is fyler key map, or you can say finder key map. It's a finder key map in whatever mode, and with this key, and for this buffer, something like this. So modes, I think I should string if I do string. Do string to modes like this, and then we have key or k, and then we have buffer number. So let's try this thing. We don't need this debug statement here. So let's try to debug this thing. So if I open a filer like this, if I open a filer with another split like rightmost, and if I search for Q, so we only have one key map instead of two. So for some reason, key map doesn't set for the second buffer. And why is that? I think we have to debug this thing out. Otherwise, I don't really have an idea. If I go to this one and search for Q, yeah, still buffer number 6. It is still buffer number 6. So if I search for finder key map, you can see all of the key maps are only defined for buffer number 6, which means this has to be the buffer number 6, and this is buffer number 7. No, this is also 6. Wait, what? You gotta be kidding me. It's supposed, it's supposed to be happening. Kind equals to split leftmost, and dir will be this mini.nvim, something, right? And then we have the filer for another directory with a rightmost split, and this time we have many.files, right? So if we search for key maps, like for finder, we only have key maps for 7th. So this is buffer number 6, and this is buffer number 7. So if I press Q, the only right-sided buffer get closed and not the left one, which actually doesn't make sense. If I press Q here, it works. And if I press Q here, it doesn't work. I mean, what is this thing? Oh, come on. Like, what is this thing? I just debug out things like which this schema is only related to buffer number 6, and still it manages to. Let me just try that again. Something's not right. Rightmost. If we are fine, so and this is buffer number 7 key maps. This is buffer number 7, and this is buffer number 6, which means if I press Q here, buffer number 6 got deleted instead of buffer number 7. I mean, what is happening? Let me just read. Yeah, this is buffer number 7, but still, this buffer is still alive, and for some reason, the previous buffer got deleted. Why this is happening? Okay, so let me just think about it for a second. So we are creating buffer here without any problems. All right. So this is the split leftmost and the rightmost split right here, right? Okay. Does this command moves your cursor to that split or not? Um, I really don't have any idea. I, I think it does. Um, let's say I want to create a 50 vertical split. So left above 50 vertical split, it looks like it's a 50. So if I said, let's see, n dot o dot columns. No, it's overall columns, not the particular. People are watching, but there's no chat here. Let me just refresh everything. Now, can you guys hear me? Just let me know. For some reason, um, this leftmost split, um, actually, all of this doesn't make any sense. First of all, let me just delete the description because the problem is not this. So we are setting the key maps for this move, this key map, and this action. And for this particular buffer, do we have any other completion like this? So we have callbacks. And what this actually is. So this is a description, callback, no remap. A silent, like everything looking fine to me. The thing is, I'm using a NeoVim version. I just updated the NeoVim version to the latest and nightly release, and that could be the problem because we have a new property. Hey, and any one of you guys, can you please confirm, like, um, if you open the key maps, vim.keymap.set, a unique field, there must be a unique field, right? Keymap.set. Wait, wait just a minute. I did get the auto completion for this. This is modes, this is left hand side, this is the right hand side, and these are the options. And we have no remaps, replace code terms, also accept buff and remap. Inverse no remap. The thing is, I'm getting an auto completion for unique, and I'm not sure about the default property of unique. If you can confirm me, like what is the default value of unique, like whether this value exists or not. Just try it. Okay, this is the rightmost, leftmost. Okay, like this. Q. Still, we have only one key map. The first one. What could be the problem? Uh, and wait just a minute. If I do this, and if I do this, delete this, and find the we do have mappings actually. Hey, maybe the problem is, wait just a minute. If I go to finders and let me just debug out things like mappings. What is happening actually? So this is a mini. This is the first time mapping. So mappings are all good. Like this is the action, we have ease and modes. Perfect. Let me clear out the messages and rightmost, and we still have everything intact. Um, but for some reason, we are only getting Q, Q. Let's press Q here. Um, buffer. Let's just add the description one more time. This thing and this thing. Press escape. Wait, what? I didn't do anything. Um, finder in it. Let's comment this thing out and like this, and if I press Q, this is buffer number 7 key map. If I go here, it's buffer number 6 key map. So this is good. And buffer number 6 key map is not working. Why? Like, why? Okay, let's go to actions. And in actions, do we have any chat? Okay, so here, let's just try to print the cell. Like, what is the type of cell here? And let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. And if I press Q here, it closes that one. So perfect. And we got the table as an output, which is completely understandable. And then I press Q again. I got this thing. There is one more thing. This time I'm going to output the self itself. So this thing and where is this thing? Yeah, rightmost. So if I press Q here, we got the buffer number 6 and dispatch signals namespace. And I just want to confirm the snacks, not snacks actually, the mini NVIM. So this is the mini NVIM entry. Okay, so this looks like correct because we have a root path for mini.nvim. Okay, so let's quit this thing out, and if I press Q here, okay, we still got it. Mini.nvim. Okay, that's a bit lame. I mean, why we are having this problem? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm passing an instance here, but the instance is always okay. I think I messed up a little bit. Yeah, I think I messed up a little bit. Oh. I think I should create the buffer first before doing that. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, let's try to do this. Let's add this thing. Um, Here. How about this? We are setting up the states here, and we are setting up the mappings here, something like that, right? And okay, fine. We can do ops like this. Well, let's keep that thing here, and this instance. So okay, and this ops dot mapping. This is ops dot mapping. This instance dot mapping. So we are mapping things from an instance to blah blah blah. Wait just a minute. If I go to here, do I have mappings? Yeah, we do have mappings. Fine. So we have mappings like here, we have mappings. Okay, so this is the instance. So instance dot get action, and so okay, fine. This time it will work. Like I suppose it works. Leftmost, um, rightmost. It clears the previous one, which is the mini. Yeah, which is the mini dot, and then split this up. And still, we do have mini and then. Why are we having same? Why we have same tables every single time? I mean, why? So we have the cell. Um, Yeah, currently this buffer doesn't exist. That's why these mappings will no longer going to work because we don't have uh, buffer numbers. Yeah, this time, yeah, I do get it. We have the same self again and again and again. Hmm. So maybe let me just finder empty like this. Yeah, a finder empty like this, and let's try to do this leftmost, and let's do a rightmost. And both of the time I have same results. So that means this is not the problem because I'm using the deep copy method. And deep copy method doesn't, yeah. Okay. So then what should be the problem? The problem is most likely uh, so um, if I do want to print the instance, let me just know like what actually happening here. Either rightmost and leftmost as well. So what do we have? We don't have anything. Oh, we have to refresh first. Like this one. Wait just a minute. Okay, I do get it. So we have dispatch, refresh, and get action, which means at this point it doesn't remember anything about the new buffer instance. So what if I transfer those things? No, that will not going to work. Hmm. What if I do instance like this? So how about it? I think things will be same. There is no such thing. So uh, the problem is we having the same instance for each action. Um, I don't know why we have this thing. Nine times. Nine times. What? No, like, okay, so because we are doing this. Okay, now it's, yeah, it's only five. So, for some reason, currently, I'm completely clueless. Like, how we can fix this issue. Like, both of the tables are same, but why? Why both of the tables are same when we are creating a different instance every single time? I mean, come on. Why are we having this problem? Hey, what about it? Like, if I do something like this, um, like this every time instead of popping out things. So we have ourselves an instance. Let's call it instance that, and this time it will definitely going to be a different thing, right? So yeah, hmm. That's it's supposed to be a different thing, and let's do this. Close it. Um, I just on what I'm doing. This is mini nvim, and this is still a mini nvim. But why? I mean, why? We are creating a different state as well. Like, what's the problem here? So if I go to state, where this state, yeah, this is a separate instance. I mean, I'm completely clueless. Let me just take this and upstart here. No, it's not about like state is always different. The problem is the instance passed down to the action. That's the same thing, and I don't like it. My mind is stopped working. Like seriously. Mm, let's end the stream. I'm not in the good right. Like I'm not in the good mood right now.